Hi, Minsu. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking the chance to be here with us to talk about your transition. I appreciate it.
No problem. I'm excited.
Yeah. And you've transitioned successfully. As you know, we're opening up enrollment into the association. We like to talk to people in the association who have transitioned recently.
Sure.
So, again, thanks for being here. And maybe you can start by just introducing yourself and the position and company you're with now.
Sure. My name is Minsu Kang. I graduated May of 2018 with a PhD in neuroscience, and now let's see, it's been a month and a half since I transitioned into an MSL role at a company called Avenir.
Great. MSL, very, very hot field right now. So, congrats to your
Yeah.
success again. I want to
Thank you.
rewind a little bit, though, and talk about the challenges you had in your job search. For those watching, a lot of them might be stuck or not know where to start in their job search. Can you talk about the challenges you had, both in terms of the technical challenges, like your resume, LinkedIn, networking, but also the mindset challenges, rejection, not knowing where to start, etc.?
Sure. It's, I mean, especially MSL role, your first MSL role, it's pretty demoralizing. I did apply to quite a few. I had an Excel spreadsheet of, all the positions that I applied just to make sure that I'm not applying to the same position again.
Yeah.
And just to keep track, because some of these companies, it's been over a year since I started applying, and I'm still getting rejection letters from companies that applied a year ago. So, things are quite slow.
Wow.
It's really challenging because, there's a whole catch-22, especially with the MSL role, where every company wants someone with MSL experience, but how do you get that experience, as someone starting up, right?
Yes.
And I think by now a lot of people actually at least have an understanding of what MSL is and what type of job or what functions or what skills that you need to be a successful MSL.
Yeah.
But to actually demonstrate, have a chance to demonstrate that it's really difficult.
Mm.
So I think it's at this point a lot of networking and also up to a certain part some luck to get to a hiring manager who's open to someone who has the scientific background, also maybe personality skills or communication skills that they think will be successful with the training.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part, finding the open-minded hiring manager.
Right. And so how did the association help you do that? So when you joined, you started going through the materials. What was kind of some of the aha moments you had in terms of things that shifted your strategy or mindset?
Sure. I think the best advice that I got from joining the association was the informational interview. Quite honestly, I didn't really know what that was until I joined and kind of started reading into it and looking into it and looking at how other people have developed their LinkedIn network and, get the informational interview. And then, not only just, leveraging them for references, but also actually getting relevant information about the company or about the hiring manager, about the team. Yeah. So that really helped me a lot. And by that, I think with the information review, I started getting a lot more interviews, kind of all at once.
Yeah.
And then I think that really opened up, and it made me a little more positive about the job search, because otherwise you're making basically cold calls or just kind of blindly applying online, with the same. The same system where you apply to all other companies. Yes. So it kind of gets repetitive, and then you kind of forget the heart of the job search, where, which is the people, right?
Yeah.
So I was really excited even before applying for the job that I knew some people in the team who can not only vouch for me, but I can also learn from them about how the company is and how the team is. That really energized me a lot when I was doing my job search.
So you're talking about the association's network. You were set up information reviews with these people. Can you talk a little bit about the network and describe it, the private group, to people who aren't in it, right? How responsive is it? How does it actually help you?
Right. It was incredible because, at first when I said, when I first kind of heard about it, okay, well, there's a Facebook group, right? But it was much more than that. That's just a platform. It really, what really differentiates the TSA from all other just, career group is how involved people are. Not only the people who are trying to transition, but also people who already have transitioned really share, they really like to share their input and their experience with someone who's going through maybe similar experience. And, I'm sure everyone's experience is a little unique, but there's still a common ground as to some of the, common challenges or, and not only even, not even that, just having maybe someone working from the same company, someone who had the interview experience at the same company, those insights are, not something you can just Google and find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Last question I always like to ask this is, were you skeptical? Did you have any concerns before joining? And if so, how are those concerns alleviated after you joined?
Yeah, I guess my concern was, especially for us and someone who's in academia, it is, to me, it was a little more, expensive, and, when you're on a stipend, it is kind of quite a bit of money, proportionally. And not really knowing what I'm getting into, like what I'm getting out of, it's kind of hard to know unless you're in it, right? So that was kind of my skepticism, like, I don't know, but it was kind of, but I did hear a lot of kind of good reviews, or, some of the colleagues who were in CSA, that, basically the input that I got was that you get exactly, you get as much information as you put into, as much effort and networking effort you put into, you actually get it within the organization. And that's exactly what happened once I joined. I was a little shy at first, but a couple weeks into it, and I just realized that everyone is really open and really welcoming, and they really don't mind sharing their experience and insights.
Fantastic, Minsu. Thank you so much for sharing. Really, really congratulations on your success. We look forward to watching more of it.
Thank you for having me.